Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Up the Guts YouTube channel. Now, if you've been following this series along the top 50 AFL players in the competition, it is finally time. We are up to the top 5 players. We did our 10 to 6 recording, and that dropped on Monday. So if you haven't watched that, go back and watch that. But it's now time to say who I believe, my opinion. Let's get that out of the way. This is my personal opinion. No stats whatsoever. This is just my personal opinion, but then I've backed it up with stats as well. So leave in the comments what I got right, what I got wrong at the end of this. But this is my personal top 5 AFL players in the competition in 2025. So without further ado, let's start off with number 5. In the number 5 spot, I got Geelong key forward Jeremy Cameron. Now, Jezza, he's just an absolute showman to watch. One of his more iconic moments when he kicked that goal in the grand final and cracked the imaginary can open. But I think he's easily a top 5 player in the competition. His versatility, you saw him on the weekend as I'm recording this on Wednesday. What is the date? Wednesday, the 26th of March. So they just played St Kilda in their loss, but we saw him up on a wing playing a lot of it too in the second half. So his versatility to be able to push up the ground and push back, and that he's 31 years old. He has 4 times All-Australians to his name. In 2024, he kicked 64 goals. So just for the pure fact of his versatility, and he put the ball in his area, and you know something is going to happen. He's Geelong's most important player. Without a doubt, him and probably Paddy Dangerfield or Bailey Smith, but Jeremy Cameron, without a doubt, is their most important player and one of the best players in the competition. No team would not want a Jeremy Cameron in their side, and that's why he's at my number 5 spot. In the number 4 spot, I've got Melbourne midfielder Christian Petrarca. Now, Christian Petrarca took a while to come on in his first early years. Took a while just to build into the AFL standard, but has really come on now. Obviously, interrupted season last year after King's birthday clash, where he injured himself and almost was life-threatening, the injuries he sustained from a bump from Braden Maynard when he was attempting a smother. But he's 29 years old, 4-time All-Australian, a Norm Smith medalist, and was averaging just under 25 touches before obviously sustaining that injury. And he's one of the best players in the competition. He's so dynamic, playing from the midfield. You play him up forward, probably where he does his best work. But when the game's on the line, you want that Christian Petrarca in the centre clearance, getting that clearance out there. That's why I was really confused when in that last quarter against North Melbourne on the weekend, and I believe GWS too, you saw him when the game was on the line playing out of square. I know how dominant he is forward, but that's the type of players you want in the helm, ready to win that disposal out there. And by all means, he's going to push forward anyway, so you're still probably going to get a goal out of him anyway. To play him in that centre clearance, get that clearance out, and then he can push forward. Don't start him from a centre square in crucial times. But Christian Petrarca is a game changer. Obviously, the Norm Smith medal is absolutely phenomenal in the grand final, and that's why he's in my number 4 spot. Yeah, the top 3, you could have them in any order, I personally believe. But let's start off with the number 3 spot. I'm going to get a lot of backlash for this, but I'm actually going to go with Paddy Cripps. Last year's Brownlow medal is obviously winning his 2nd Brownlow medal with a history-breaking whopping 45 Brownlow votes. Was absolutely phenomenal. Nick Dacos also broke the record, but came in 2nd place. That's just amazing in itself. Just an absolute ball in the contest. Put Carlton on his back for many, many years now. The skipper, 2 times Brownlow, as I mentioned, 4-time All-Australian, 5-time BNF winner at Carlton. Averaged just under 29 disposals last year, and obviously the 45 Brownlow medal votes. You got to feel sorry for him sometimes, the way he puts his body on the line for Carlton. They just haven't been able to deliver for him. He's the type of player that deserves success, and everyone would love a Paddy Cripps on there. He's just an absolute animal, and he goes to war for Carlton. Although they don't deliver to him very often, and as a Collingwood supporter, I don't mind that. But he goes to war and gives 120% at all times. Even playing him, obviously, he's a bigger midfielder. He'd be hard to play him through the bigger body size, and they tend to play him in the ruck. I don't want to see that, though. I want to see him just in the midfield, getting that clearances out like he often does, and just dominating games. Could he possibly win a 3rd round? So what is he? He's 30 years old, so he has at least another 3 or 4 years in him. So Paddy Cripps is my number 3 spot for the best AFL players in 2025. Now, this is where I might have got some backlash. I know some people agree, but I know especially a particular person doesn't agree with me. But in the number 2 spot, I got Marcus Bontempelli, 29 years old. He's the Western Bulldogs captain, a 6-time All-Australian, a 3-time AFL Players Association MVP, a 6-time BNF. In 2024, he averaged 25.8 disposals and kicked the 32 goals. A bigger sized midfielder, but what I like about him, he's a game changer. Doesn't possess the elite speed, but he's just so smooth moving with the ball. Can play inside, can play outside. But what I love about him is his ability to hit the scoreboard. There's not many games where you go to it and see Bontempelli not impact the scoreboard. There might be games where he only has 18 or 20, but he's kicking you 2 or 3, and that's so valuable to have. Midfielders that kick goals are so valuable, especially in this day and age where you don't see the key forwards kicking hundreds. If someone kicks 80, a key forward, you've had a really good year. That's why key forwards kicking goals are so valuable this year. And Marcus Bontempelli is the best in the competition for that. And that's why, unfortunately, he's not in my number 1. He's in my number 2. But now it's time for the number 1. Yes, and in the number 1 spot, you would have guessed it by now, but it was runner-up last year in the Brownlow medal count. And it's none other than Collingwood superstar Nick Daicos. At only 22 years age, he's got quite the resume at the moment. 2-time All-Australian. He was a 2024 Copeland Trophy winner, which is Collingwood's BNF. He was last year's AFL Coaches Association Champion Player of the Year award. 2023, he won the Anzac Day medal in the Anzac Day game against Essendon. In 2024, he averaged 30.7 disposals and kicked the 20 goals. So we're seeing him more use fall to the ground, which I'm really liking too, because he can impact the scoreboard. There was games last year where he had 35 and 2. That's when Nick Daicos is at his best, when you can get him centre forward of the ground and impacting the scoreboard on the run. He's just so lethal, and for a person such at a young age, he's just so good, and that's why I have him as the best player in the competition. Obviously, he's got to work through this tagging. He's beaten some tags, but then there's some tags that have got a hold of him. But I feel like he's going to break through it, and just the way everyone's going to probably knock, I think, last year when his disposal efficiency went down. But that's purely on Collingwood's fault because, Jordan Ngoi was down injured, and we asked Nick Daicos to play an inside game, where everyone used to say Nick Daicos isn't a contested ball and blah, 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 blah. Well, last year in the second half of the year, he was. He was made to play inside because we didn't have anyone to go inside. That's why they interjected Jack Chris a little bit more in there. Nick Daicos is best when he's playing on the outside and getting the ball and delivering it inside forward 50. You could argue 2 years ago, the Brownlow was his until he got injured. He was leading, and I believe he only got overtaken in the last or second last round. So he could be a Brownlow medalist right now, but that's in the past. I believe he will be a Brownlow medalist, possibly a multiple-time Brownlow medalist, but he's just a game changer. The way he uses the ball, he sees targets that not many do. The way he links up, he gets the 1-2, and more importantly, he's showing us more now that he can impact the scoreboard. So Nick Daicos is my number 1 player in the AFL as we speak in the 2025 season. Well, there you have it, guys. That wraps up this whole series of the top 50 AFL players in the competition right now. We'll go over my top 5 quickly. Number 5 was Geelong's Jeremy Cameron. Number 4 was Melbourne's Christian Petrarca. Number 3, Carlton's Patrick Cripps. Number 2, Marcus Bontempelli from the Western Bulldogs, the skipper. And number 1, Collingwood's Nick Daicos. Comment below who you think I got right, what you got wrong. I'm sure people are going to interchange and switch and swap how I've ordered this top 5. And by all means, get a discussion going in the comments. I'd love to see people get involved and give their views, even give their top 10, top 20. I'd love to people to get involved and comment that. But if you have enjoyed this series, guys, make sure, and this video in particular, make sure to leave a like and comment on this video. Hit that subscribe button and turn the notification bell so you do not miss an upload. I hope you guys enjoyed this whole series, and until next time, guys, I'll see you guys then.